Hello everyone, welcome to today's news chatter. Let us begin with a practice question for prelims. Take a look at this question. This question can be very important for this year's prelims because it is about the project Divyastra, MIRV, multiple independent re-entry vehicles. So Agni 5 as a MIRV has been tested recently. So it is your duty to know about all the basic details, the significances, the specifications of this missile system. So three options are provided here. First three statements are provided here. Read the statement. It has a range of over 5,000 kilometers, which is correct. Agni 5 has 5,000 kilometer range. Agni 5 is the longest range missile India has tested so far. That is true. Apart from India, 5 countries possess MIRV capable projectiles, which is also true. So 5 countries are there. Which are these countries? United Kingdom, USA, Russia, China, and France. So 5 countries are there apart from India who have already acquired the capability of this missile. Let's start with the topics of the day. Spaceborne assistant and knowledge hub interaction, that is SAKI. This topic again for prelims this year is very important. Spaceborne assistant and knowledge hub interaction. So what exactly it is? It is a software that is built by the Vikram Sarabhai Space Center that is located in Trivandrum of Kerala, along with the Indian Space Research Organization, that is ISRO. So what is the significance of this app or this interface? So this is specifically built for the astronauts who are traveling on Gaganyaan space flight mission. Gaganyaan space flight mission is India's mission to send individual human beings to the space. So it is a step towards future space missions of India. So in this, in order to communicate, in order to monitor them, in order to see if there is any technical fault or if there is any emergency cases. So in order to do all these things, instead of taking a lot of training modules with them, what they have done is they have just designed an app. So all the data, everything will be there in the app. They can have a wearable device in which this entire data can be available. They can make use of it. So this is the basic idea. So what are all the things they will take care of? Technical lookup for vital technical information or communication with each other. Each and every individual can communicate with each other. They can monitor the health of the astronauts, help them stay connected with the Earth stations, and take care of the dietary schedules of the astronauts also. So all these things can be taken care of. The name of the app is Sakhi app. It is strapped to the spacesuit. So just like what I told, it is strapped to a wearable device. A wearable device like a phone or a small monitor will be there, in which all these details will be there. It can be attached to their space suit. So they can wear it all the time, which will result in proper monitoring. Exercise Tiger Triumph, all military exercises, all cooperation exercise with any friendly country of India is very important. So exercise Tiger Triumph is an exercise between India and the United States of America. The most important point about this exercise is it is a tri-service exercise, means Army, Navy, and Air Force. All the three will be engaged in this. And its primary focus is HADR, humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. HADR is the primary target of Tiger Triumph. The exercise is between India and USA, and it has commenced on the eastern seaboard of United States of America. The major aim is to conduct humanitarian and disaster relief operations and refining standard operating procedures in case of any emergency, how to do it, how to take care of it. The standard operating procedure will be provided here. During this exercise, forces will embark on each other's ship to understand how they are functioning. For example, Indian Navy will have access to the United States ship, so they can know in what process they are managing the system, what are all the things they are doing. So it will help each other. Anthropocene epoch. So from prelims point of view, certain important points are there which you should be knowing. I will explain you what are all the basic points which can be asked in the exam. So there was a Dutch scientist, his name Paul Kurtzen. He was the one who coined the term Anthropocene because he is the one who identified the ozone hole. So what exactly is Anthropocene? See, the history of the world is very large. It is very lengthy. So the entire history is divided into multiple epochs. Multiple epochs. So these epochs are divided based on the climatic conditions of the Earth. Based on the climatic conditions, we have divided the entire time span into multiple epochs. At present, we are living in Holocene epoch. Holocene epoch started around 11,200 years ago. There was a glaciation, a very big ice age was there. Once the ice age ended, we started to develop civilization. So that's why from 11,700 years ago, we have marked it as the beginning of Holocene epoch. Paul Kurtzen, he identified the ozone hole and he said that earlier, whatever change was happening in the earth, it was based on natural phenomenon. Climate and everything was changing because of natural phenomenon. But now we human beings have started to manipulate the atmosphere. We have started to manipulate the entire world, and because of human beings, the climate is changing. The best example is global warming and climate change. So he said this marks the beginning of Anthropocene. Anthro means human. Anthropocene means the time period which is manipulated by human beings. So this is what Paul Kurtzen has said. A lot of scientists do not accept this. They say that we cannot just name a epoch in our own name. But that is not much important. What is important here is the Holocene epoch in which we are living started around 11,700 years ago. And how are we dividing this? Earth's surface keeps evolving. Earth's surface keeps evolving. So whenever you dig into the earth, under each and every layer, based on the surface of the rocks, based on the substratum which we are acquiring, we can classify the time period. We can get to know what kind of species we're living, what kind of flora, fauna, etc. we're living. But in the recent time, we are making a lot of changes. We are doing the construction on our own. We are manipulating the entire land surface. Decline of certain important species such as saber-toothed cat in North America, woolly mammoths in Siberia, rise of agriculture, increase in deforestation, mechanized irrigation, construction of large dams, and all these industrialization, etc., has resulted in change in the surface of the earth. So because of which we can assume that we are living in an Anthropocene epoch. What is coral bleaching? Bleaching is a very important topic for prelims, especially from a prelims point of view. You need to know about it. What exactly are corals? Corals are living objects which actually look like a rock. Only if you look at it very closely, you will understand that it is a living organism. They are the entire coral setup has two organisms in it. One is coral polyp, second one a kind of a algae called as zooxanthellae. So here polyps and zooxanthellae will have a mutual relation. Both are living according to their own benefits. So it is a kind of a symbiotic relationship between each other. How they do it? Zooxanthellae is actually a algae. So what the corals provide, the polyps provide is they will provide all the basic components which the zooxanthellae is requiring to make photosynthesis. So polyps provide them a surface. Polyps provide them with the basic chemicals that is required to undergo photosynthesis. This zooxanthellae will take the sunlight and they start photosynthesis. And once they photosynthesize, they create a lot of carbohydrate. So this carbohydrate will be taken by the coral polyps. So both of them live in a mutual condition. But the problem is, because they are living in a mutual condition, it makes a very sensitive ecosystem. Whenever the surface temperature of the ocean increases, whenever high amount of pollution happens, any small changes happen, what will happen is the zooxanthellae will start to die. Once the zooxanthellae dies, it is because of the zooxanthellae, the entire corals are having multiple colors. So once this algae starts dying, the polyps will also start to die because they will not get food. So we need to make sure chemicals are not let into the oceans, especially in those regions where corals are present. The Great Barrier Reef of Australia, for example, we have to be very careful about it. We need to ensure that the surface temperature of oceans are not increasing. So what exactly is coral bleaching? When the coral face stress by change in conditions such as temperature, light, nutrients. So these three are the most important. Light is required for photosynthesis. Temperature should be stable so that the algae can live. Nutrients are required so that the polyp can take the nutrient and give to the algae. So when any of the above changes, they expel the symbiotic algae zooxanthellae living in their tissue. This will result in all the death of all the zooxanthellae and the coral will become white. That is why we call it as coral bleaching. One very important point here, which you should be knowing, is even though the zooxanthellae dies, once the conditions come back to normal, slowly they will start to develop. So it is not like once it is gone, it is completely gone. So we can always repair the condition. Mains practice question of the day: critically examine the significance of free trade agreement in developing India's exports. Because of the increase in the number of free trade agreements in the recent times, such topics are very important, especially in the recent time. India signed a free trade agreement with European Free Trade Association, European Free Trade Agreement countries. So because of that, we have given this question for practice. You can practice it, identify the advantages and disadvantages, and then you can come to a conclusion. One important point from prelims examination perspective: goods trade barometer. Goods trade barometer is a system that is designed by the World Trade Organization. What exactly it is? It is a kind of a methodology or a study that will reflect the real-time data on merchandise trade, how the trade is going on, whether it is going in the right way or whether it is declining. Each and every detail will be provided by this barometer. It is designed by WTO. Certain important points you need to know. It is given out on quarterly basis. Barometer will provide some reading, and if the reading is greater than 100, then it means the trade is going in the right direction. The trade has been increasing. If it is less than 100, that means in the near future or very soon, the trade is going to decline. So these points are extremely important. Any report, any methodology of international bodies such as WTO are very important. Take a note of it. So that will be all for today. All the best. Study well. Let's meet tomorrow.